What is going on, everybody? It's your boy NothingButSkillz, and today we're going to be talking about how mods are changing in the Division 2. Now, I am currently on the PTS, the player test server, and we're going to take a look at how offensive, defensive, utility, and generic mods are going to be used in the next update. So we're going to grab this chest piece right here, and we're going to scroll down a little bit and look right off the bat. It says utility mod slot, and then it says defensive mod slot. If you're playing the current game right now, it should say defensive protocol mod slot, defensive system mod slot, utility system mod slot like you're seeing right here. But in the update and on the player test servers, it only says utility mod slot and defensive mod slot. So this is kind of a buff. So let's take a look at it. If we click on the utility mod slot, now if you notice, we can put utility protocol mod slots, and we have the option of putting utility system mod slots. So they went away from having the protocol and system mod slots, and now it's just one generic mod slot. So you have utility mod slot, so you can fit both, and that's a lot better, right? I feel like that will help players be able to create builds a little bit easier. Now also it's the same thing for defensive. Defensive mod slot says defensive mod slot, and you could put the protocol mod slots, and if you scroll down, you could put the system mod slots. And why this is good is because you remember system mod slots are more armor based, and then protocol more health. So if you want to build with more health, you can stack a bunch of protocol mod slots. If you want to be a little bit more tankier and have more armor, you'll put those system mod slots. Now, one thing you did notice is I have no option of putting any generic mods. So they did take that away, but we'll go a little bit more in detail in just a second. Let me grab a piece that has an offensive mod slot to show you that you can do the same thing with the offensive mod slots. So we have offensive mod slot right here, and it just reads offensive mod slot now. No system or protocol, but you have the option of putting a protocol mod slot or a system. And this is a buff right here, because now instead of having to worry about getting system mod slots on our gear sets, we can put those offensive system mod slots on a regular offensive mod slot, and I like that a lot. I think that's really good, and I can stack a little bit more damage even though I'm losing those generic mod slots. So that's a pretty good takeaway from this whole. Now mod slots only have offensive, defensive, and utility, and you could put protocol or system in those slots, but you cannot put generic mods on those slots. But generic mods still have a use, just not on high-end gear, and I'll show you in just a second. So what happens to all those generic mods that we farmed? What can we do with them? Well, if you get purple or below gear, you can put generic mod slots on there. If you look at these gloves, they say offensive mod slot. I click on it and I scroll down, and I keep going down, and then finally I get generic mod slots, and that is where I can use these generic mods. So those mods with those 5% weapon damage, you can still use it on anything purple and below. So purple and blue gear sets can still use generic mod slots. Anything above high end to your gear sets cannot use generic mod slots. So if you've been stacking a lot of damage on your builds using these generic mod slots, you're gonna have to tweak your builds a little bit better, because you can't use them anymore. But hey, even though we got one nerf, we got a lot of buffs. I feel like the whole using offensive system mod slots wherever you want is good. The same with defensive, the same with utility. I think that's a good step in the right direction. I always felt that the generic mod slots was a little weird, that you had to farm a whole new character at level 19. I mean, I did it. I had some AR, I had some LMG, but I still felt it was kind of weird that I had to get on a level 19 character to use mods on my gear score level 500 character. It just didn't really make a lot of sense to me. I did it because it's the only way you could get those mod slots. So they kind of changed it a little bit. I think this is a step in the right direction. I like how they simplified the whole offensive, defensive, and utility mod slots. I think that's a real good step in the right direction. I think that confused a lot of players, and that should help a lot of players start to build those gear sets, start to build those brand sets, and put them all together and create some really unique builds. So only time will tell if this is a good thing or if this is a bad thing. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? And let me know why. Make sure if you found this video useful, you leave a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, first time watching a video, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, so when I release a video, you guys get notified. And as always, until the next video, nothing but skills out.